I've hated my job for about 3 years now. And while I'm so grateful that I was employed and able to pay off debt thanks to having a job that was consistent over the last 5 years, I've realized that life is too short to be miserable every single day. So I quit my job. Honestly, I really struggled with the decision to quit my job, and I went back and forth for quite a while on whether or not I should quit my job because it was so stable and felt very secure. But the decision on what I want my life to look like did not align with what my job was offering me. And life has taught us last year that life is too short, life is too precious to stay in situations that don't serve us well, jobs included. When I started my job 5 years ago, I actually really loved it. And then over time, my job changed, and I like to tell people when I'm talking to them that it kind of felt like I was a frog in a pot where I was being like, the water was getting turned up hotter and I was being boiled, but I didn't really notice it because it happened so slowly over time. My manager changed, my situation changed, my work environment changed, and over time I was less and less happy, but I didn't really realize it fast enough because I had been so happy in the beginning and loved so many things about both the company, the people I worked with, and the actual job. It was at the time when I started the perfect fit for what I needed in my life. And that was so different, and a lot of the changes were really negative and made me very unhappy, especially day to day with both the people I was working with and the actual job I was doing. And if you watched my channel before, you know that I actually spent a lot of money in therapy talking about my job and trying to justify being there, to stay employed, to keep my paycheck, to keep my benefits, and all of that. I was miserable for a while, but I knew I needed to work because I was paying off debt and I was trying to get us to a better place financially. So I stayed in that job longer than I probably should have. So a couple days ago, I hit my 4-year anniversary at the company I work for. And I asked for a review and a pay raise and was told no. I didn't even get a cost of living increase. I didn't get a conversation. I got nothing. So while my manager is a nice person and I consider him like friendly, I am done. Right now I don't have income anywhere close to supporting what I make at my day job, but I do have an online income source and I am making money, so that's a start, and I'm just going to build on that and see where I go. So I'm going to focus on building revenue streams. I'm going to focus on sources of income, having multiple and growing those, and hopefully in a year I don't have to leave every day. So I actually just, for the first time, watched all of those clips that I filmed when I was so unhappy at work. And it blew my mind. I knew that I wanted to leave this job for a while, but I kind of forgot how long it's been. I actually came to the decision to leave in 2020 in, I think it was like the end of January, beginning of February. So I decided I should leave my job. And then in March, economy and the pandemic just ruined those plans completely. Obviously, a lot of people lost their jobs at that time. There weren't people hiring. We barely stayed employed, honestly. And we were actually sent home to work from home, which I had been told would never, ever, ever happen. And instead I got sent home, and that kind of helped actually. Finding a job at that time was so much harder, and the change in environment to working from home really made it a lot easier to do my job and stay employed there because I was much, much happier working from home, working remotely, seeing my daughter more, being around my husband more. I had pretty much the best of all worlds. I got to still work, I got to do YouTube, I didn't have to commute, and I got to see my daughter pretty much grow up from a little toddler to a preschool child. I hate that 2020 happened and ruined so many lives, but at the same time it was, in a way, a blessing for me because I struggled so much sending her to daycare as a baby, but I got to spend almost a whole year seeing her more. So that was really amazing and helped me keep my job a lot longer than I had originally planned. During that time, we also grew our family by one, and things just kind of chugged along. I worked from home and it was okay. It wasn't my dream job by any means, but it was okay. And honestly, in 2020, if things were okay, that was great. That was something worth keeping. After going through multiple once-in-a-lifetime events as a millennial, I think I've realized that the expectations that we were given are not matching reality. And I think a lot of other people have realized that too. And we're starting to reconsider whether the things that we were told we should want are even the things that we want at all. Frankly, I feel like 2020 just sped up that process for a lot of us. And for those of us in a really privileged place where we are able to quit our jobs, we're quitting our jobs. The Great Resignation, as it's being called, is a lot of people just waking up to the fact that we don't want the life that a lot of companies are forcing on us. We don't necessarily want to spend an hour a day driving to work and working in a cube in an office. If we have the type of job where we can work from home, where we can see our families more, where we can have a less frantic lifestyle, we're choosing that. And frankly, that's what I'm choosing. Having a more or less stable job over the last 5 years has been very helpful for us, and I would never have been able to pay off debt without that foundation in my life. It helped me through my husband changing jobs, my husband growing his career, my husband doing all of these things that were a little more risky than what I was doing. And it honestly helped me build the foundation of being on YouTube. I started YouTube because I had coworkers that were on YouTube. So in many ways, my job was a huge blessing. But at this point in my life, I'm realizing that time is more important than money. The thing that I spend the most time with my therapist working on is how to find time to fit everything in. I want to be the person that can do everything, but I can't. And I'm accepting that and realizing that that's okay. I can't be the person that has a full-time job, a full-time YouTube channel, and 2 kids, and then still find time for myself. I don't have the time management skills or the ability to make all of it work. And that's okay, because I don't want that. I realized this in the last 2 weeks. I went back to work and I told myself that I would give it a go. I would see how it felt. And unfortunately, my manager wanted me to drive into the office every day to work remotely to another building. It is day 3 of being back at work, and my baby just cried the entire commute. I have a new 30-minute commute because my old daycare closed near my house, so this was the one that I found that was open and had slots and stuff. But it makes my commute longer, so it's 30 minutes to do drop off, and the entire time he cried. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I torturing both of us? Why am I so stuck on being at this job? What does it represent to me? Why am I scared to leave? Why am I scared to quit? Why am I scared to... Is it because I have kids now? Because I've quit jobs in the past and it made me much happier. But like, I feel like I can't quit this job, and maybe it's because I have 2 kids now. Maybe it's not, but I need to quit and I can't figure out why. It is Tuesday of week 2 of being back at work, and I'm struggling so hard. I keep talking myself in and out of quitting. Like, one minute I'm like, gotta quit my job. I have so many opportunities outside of this place. My manager holds me back. I'm not gonna get any raises this year. Why am I still here? And then the other minute I'm like, I have a family. I need a steady paycheck. Like, obviously I need a paycheck. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting being in my head. Ultimately, I'm like, I just don't know what to do. I want to be the person that does it all. I want to be the person that can work full time and have like an amazing side gig and make like $100K on the side and have a $100K job and like have time for friends and family and work out every day and do all of the things so well, because some of y'all seem like you can, but like I'm not that person. I need to accept that I'm not that person, and my job makes me miserable and I can't seem to quit it. What is wrong with me? Y'all, I don't know why it's such a hard choice, because I guess it's the stability. I feel like I need and want security and stability, but I've built that for myself. My side income is like so many multiple income streams, and they're all super stable, and none of them are like insane where if one went away, like, I'd be destitute. Like, I would have to have, like, a lot of things fail to be at zero. And I've spent 3 years building this thing that's, like, stable and has multiple income streams. And, like, I talk a lot about on my Tuesday videos, like, you're building all this stuff and you're paying down debt and investing and putting money away so that you have options. And now I have options, and I'm like, oh, I can't take these options. Options are just for the future, for future Mary. Current Mary couldn't take an option. But what have I done all this for if I can't take an option now to do what I want? Or not even to do what I want, but just to stop being miserable. It's only been a week and a half, but, like, I don't think it's gonna get much better. Like, I know I'll adjust, but I feel this just misery. I keep setting these, like, goals, like these markers of, like, do this and this and this before you quit. And then, like, the next day, like, I up the amount. Like, I up the amount that I need to save, or I up the amount that I need to have invested before I quit this job. And it's like, I could move those out forever. What is a year more going to do here other than make me miss the first year of my baby's life? Miss more of it than I should. I mean, I'm still gonna have to work. Like, I can't quit and not work. Like, I still have to work, but I could work from home, and I could work on things that matter and things I care about, and I can work less. Like, I don't have to work 40, 45, 50 hours a week and commute. I'm literally just talking myself into and out of it. So this is just another day, another. But what if I quit and I make double what I make here, or triple? Or, like, what if I open myself up to opportunities where I make more money? Like, quitting doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be destitute, and it doesn't mean that I'm gonna have no money. How is everyone so brave to be quitting their jobs? I need a little bravery right now. It's funny because I'm the only one that thinks I shouldn't quit too. My therapist says I should quit my job. My friends say I should quit my job. My husband says I should quit my job. My mom says I should quit my job. Everyone in my mastermind says I should quit my job. Literally the only people that say I shouldn't quit my job are people I work for and myself. It's funny. It's funny and sad also. But, like, I gotta figure this out because I clearly have some limiting money beliefs. So I gotta figure out what these beliefs are that are limiting me and getting me so stuck here, and figure them out, because this is clearly not sustainable to be this miserable and spend this much time thinking about it. I'm spending my lunch break thinking about quitting my job instead of, like, working on something useful or taking a walk or enjoying myself. I don't know. But here's the thing, like, it's because I'm so ambitious and I want to achieve all these money goals, and I've been poor before, and I don't want to go back there. I really don't want to go back to where I was struggling with money and, like, never had money and never got to do anything fun, like, because I was just surviving, and survival mode is not where I want to go. I don't want to be in survival mode, like, ever again in my life, ever. Like, and I don't want to lose, I think that's it. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to, like, lose anything important to me. I don't want to be in survival mode. I don't want to go back there because I've been there. But if I quit, wouldn't that drive, that fear I have now for letting go of something stable, push me to work harder, you know? Because that's definitely what's driving this thought now that I think about it. Like, I don't want to go back to being poor. I don't want to go back to being, like, in debt, struggling, like, basically homeless at times. I mean, when you live on people's couches, it doesn't feel like you're homeless, but I was basically homeless. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to go back to that. So that's definitely why I'm a little bit scared to let go of something that's so stable. But especially with kids, because it's different now too with kids. I don't want to go back to that. but I have all these other skills I'm not getting paid for at this job, and I could get paid for by working on my own business. So maybe I just need to redirect the fear of like being homeless and being broke and that fear, and channel it into something better, because I could make more money. I already have made more money than my day job multiple months. I could make a lot more. It's just not stable. So that makes me scared. And because it's not stable, my brain goes into that scarcity mindset where I'm going to be poor and homeless again. Like, I'm not going to have a place to go, and that's scary. Man. But maybe it also could be a lot better. What if I quit and I can have everything I ever wanted, like all of the stuff, all of the income, no money worries, and also not commute, also have more time with my family, also like have the freedom to go work in other places, have more vacation time because I can, you know, take my work with me, or like go places and visit friends. There's so few downsides to quitting other than the lack of feeling stable. This is getting really long. I'm gonna have to cut it down because I don't even know what I'm saying. But this is like basically therapy for me. So I really want to quit my job this week, but I need to work through all these thoughts, and I need to work through like a plan, numbers, and all of that. But I really want to quit my job. This is not sustainable, driving an hour a day to work at a job I don't like for 8 hours a day or 9 hours a day. And like, it feels like working here, I'm just working to buy a bigger house. I'm just working to buy like my next house, my bigger house, my fancy, I've made it like late 30s, early 40s house that all my friends seem to be buying. I'm literally keeping this job to keep up with them and to buy that house. So if I could let go of that house and just focus on what I have and be grateful and realize like I'm not gonna be homeless, I'm just gonna have the house I have now, and that's okay, then I could do this. I could do this. And I could be okay. So yeah, gonna work on some obviously limiting money beliefs and just beliefs in general, and then see where I end up at the end of the week / next week, and see if I'll actually take the plunge or if I'll be miserable for the next year. Oh gosh. Okay, we'll see. So I had to make a choice for myself. Did I want to spend 5 hours a week commuting and listening to my baby cry in the car and living a frantic like lifestyle where I was stressed from driving to work and then trying to de-stress, work my full day, and then spend another 30 minutes in stress and traffic going home? Ultimately, I hated the last 2 weeks. I realized that 2020 and being able to work remotely, to be around my children more, was so valuable to me that no amount of money that they were going to offer me was going to be worth the lifestyle that they wanted me to have. Because I found myself in the last 2 weeks thinking, this is not how I want to live my life. I found myself being so crunched for time with the 2 kids and commuting and working and trying to film YouTube videos when I could, that I was getting angry at my kids because they weren't ready, or getting frustrated with myself because of traffic and not being on time. And that just isn't how I want to live my life. I don't want a frantic, stressful life. So 2020 made me realize that I wanted a less stressful life. I wanted a less frantic life. And I no longer wanted to do work that didn't fulfill me and didn't matter. So when I had to go back to all of those things, I realized pretty quickly that it wasn't going to work out long term. However, I'm a very, very security-minded person, so it was scary for me. I've been scared to make the jump, even though I have a side hustle income, even though with this YouTube channel, my Etsy shop, and all of the things I do online, I've been equaling my day job income for a while now. Even with that, I still was scared. I was still scared to quit, so I had a lot of limiting beliefs around money and work that I had to work through. They kept looping through my head, and at a certain point, I realized that fear was keeping me in my job and keeping me really miserable. I had people in my life telling me to quit, but personally, I was too scared. And even with all of these people from different parts of my life telling me you should quit my job, even my coworkers were telling me to quit my job, I was still letting fear make my decisions for me, and I was letting fear run my life. Even feeling stuck and miserable every day I had to go into the office, I was still letting fear decide that I should do that, because I was so scared of not having enough money, of not being able to continue what I was making in my side hustle. I was just scared of letting go of the feeling of control and the feeling of security, even though those things are in a way not something I can control at all. Fear is actually a really powerful and useful emotion, but in a lot of ways it can turn on you. Fear is something that can prevent us from doing something that will actually be better for us. It is something that will keep us stuck in a situation that doesn't serve us, whether that's work or a relationship. It's something that will keep you so stuck that you can't move on to something that's better. That's because fear is there to keep us safe. It's there to let us know that a bear or a predator or something is going to get us. Fear is good because it makes us protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe. But it also can backfire in our modern world because it keeps us stuck in situations that aren't necessarily good for us, but they're comfortable and they are safe enough. For me, the fear of never being able to find another job, of running out of money, of losing my home, that fear kept me in a job that was at times boring, miserable, and honestly, sometimes toxic. So it kept me stuck a lot longer than I had really planned. While I was on maternity leave, I had 4 months off, and I was able to kind of step back and step away from my job being such a big part of my life. I also had a lot of conversations with other people that either were quitting their jobs or doing content full time or taking some other kind of risk or just doing something different. I was able to kind of think through some things that really have been very life-changing in a way. All of this led to a few really big revelations. First, if I don't take risks now, when will I take the risk? If I work the next year, will I then quit? Or will I have missed the first year of my baby's life and still be in the same position at work, earning the same amount of money without taking that risk? And the second one that might apply to you as well is that you have to take responsibility for your own life. This is something I struggle with so hard, but you have to take like 100% responsibility for yourself. Even with all of the people telling me that I should quit, that I should pursue something that I'm good at, that I'm making money with, I still wanted someone to give me permission and to control that decision for me. But ultimately, it's my decision. Ultimately, I'm the only one in control of my life. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it yourself. And when I finally have accepted that and accepted responsibility for my own life, that has helped me make that decision and finally quit. Life is too short to stay in situations that don't serve you, and my job did not serve me any longer. I love the owners and the company and a lot of things about it, but it's not a good fit for me anymore, and I finally worked up the courage to make that happen. Of course, I'm a super responsible person, and financially I was terrified of this move, so I did a lot of things before actually making the decision to quit and sending in my 2 weeks notice. So I did things like we got new tires, we saved up a little bit heftier emergency fund, I have been buying new equipment for my side hustle, and I've been putting aside paychecks for the future, and I just maxed out my Roth IRA. So I try to put myself in as good of a financial position as possible because I do have 2 kids and this can't be a super risky thing. I'm able to get insurance, health insurance through my husband's work, and we're going to do that. And then I'm going to try to cut our expenses as low as possible and be really smart about this transition. I also made myself a list of reasons why I'm doing this, because a lot of times if you don't have a why behind what you're doing, you just kind of get stuck. And so having a list of reasons why I should quit my job and what this transition and what this choice is going to give me has been very helpful. I'm also giving myself the time to work on things that help me stop trading time for money. It takes a lot of work on something like YouTube in the beginning, but over time you grow this income that doesn't correlate to the time you put in. So last month I earned $6,000, but I only worked maybe 5 hours a week versus my job where I earned $4,000 and had to spend 9-10 hours a day with the job and commuting. Clearly those don't match. So I'm giving myself the option to pursue the things that, if they work well, you're not trading time for money. And there's a lot of other things besides YouTube where this is true. And I'm gonna give myself the opportunity to pursue more of those. And frankly, I'm betting on myself. I'm betting on myself that I'm capable to keep this going. I'm betting on myself that I'm able to find ways to monetize the thing I love to do, which is to help other people. And I'm betting on myself that I will be able to take care of my family and make it all work. Honestly, y'all, it's scary to let go of something stable and to like go into this unknown and not be sure if it is going to pay off or not. It's not guaranteed. And after I put in my 2 weeks notice yesterday, I thought I would be more excited, honestly. I was super, super excited when I did it. Like right before, I had this like rush of excitement and like happiness. But then afterwards, my brain was immediately like, change back. No, what did you do? Why did you do that? Oh my God, panic, 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 panic. And I spent last night kind of panicky. I felt really scared. Like, what did I do? I just let go of a stable paycheck and I have 2 babies. What was I doing? What was I thinking? Oh my God, panic, like panic, panic. I really was super panicky. So I'm scared. I'll be honest. I'm really scared. I'm scared that I will never get hired again. I'm scared that this is going to go away in like a day. I'm scared that I won't be able to make this work. I'm scared that we will have not enough money and we're going to struggle. But I'm also scared that staying in that job was going to make me miss my babies being little. I was scared that I was going to miss potential time with my mom because her cancer came back, and instead of being able to spend time and help her, I am so crunched for time I can't even like take care of myself. So how am I going to help take care of her and like be there for her during this time? I was more scared of staying there and staying miserable and failing the people that matter the most to me than I am scared of failing at YouTube or failing at building a business. So I am excited, I am terrified, and I ultimately have decided that this doesn't have to be forever. Nothing is forever. No job is forever. No business is forever. This can be my job for the next year. This can be my job for the next 2 years until my little one goes to the preschool we love. It can be my job for however long it needs to be and however long it works. I can find a new job later. I can find or start a new business later. This doesn't have to be forever, but for now, it's the best fit. It gives me the most opportunity and the least amount of regret, because I know if I stayed in that job, I would regret not giving the people in my life that matter the most the best of me. Will this be my forever job? No, I'm not going to be a YouTuber when I'm 60, but will it be something I can do for now? Will it be something that I can utilize in this time when I need it the most? Yes. So I want to take the opportunity and run with it while I have the chance, while the people in my life need me. I want to give the best parts of myself to them instead of giving those parts to an employer that is just an employer. Like, there's plenty of them out there. I don't owe them anything. And when you work hard at your job, the thing that you get money, but you also get more work. You get more job. So I want to give those parts of me where I work hard and where I care a lot to you and to my family. I want to have the best parts of me show up for these 2 things because they're the ones that matter the most to me and they're the things that fulfill me the most. So I quit my job, terrified. It's been a long time coming. I want to thank you guys so much because honestly, you've made this happen for me. And you've helped me stop settling for things that don't make me happy and fulfilled. I was definitely going down a path where I was going to settle for that. And a lot of you have encouraged me not to do that, to do more with my life and to do the things that matter the most. So this change is scary for me, but I want to thank you for encouraging me to do it, because I think it's also, while scary, going to be the best thing I've ever done and the best decision I've made for my family.